Hey, entrepreneur. Welcome to the Reignite ecosystem. I am Danielle Bertrand, the preventative burnout specialist, and I have something super special for you today. Because today we are diving into how burnout is tied into people pleasing and how it can show up in your business. Let's get into it. So, I am the preventative burnout specialist, but I also own a business. Actually, my undergrad degree is in small business and entrepreneurship. I love all things business. Even as an educator, I teach business courses like entrepreneurship, marketing, typing, basic computer applications, all of the things. So, business is near and dear to my heart. But I've seen burnout come and cause amazing entrepreneurs to stop doing the thing that they have been called to do. And a lot of it has to do with people pleasing. So let's talk about how people pleasing can show up in the life of an entrepreneur. For most of us, when we're first getting started, we're doing all the things. You marketing, you are customer service, you're providing the product, the service, you are the face of the company. You are the company. Let's be real. You're doing the networking, you're doing all of the things. But if you are someone that has dealt with people pleasing and it has been unchecked, it is absolutely going to show up in your business. How is it going to show up? You are going to find yourself answering emails at 3 a.m. Why would you be answering an email at 3 a.m.? Because you have business hours, but you don't stick to them. Why would you be answering the email at 3 a.m.? Because you are afraid that if you don't respond, that customer or that client is going to move to the next person. And I'm going to pause right here on that because not only does that have to do with people pleasing, that has to do with a poverty mindset. If you assume that if you don't respond immediately, you're going to lose it, that means that you feel like there's only one opportunity out there. And if you don't handle this one with kid gloves, then you will never receive another opportunity. When on the flip side, actually, people honor when you are not as readily available to them, when you have policies and you stick to them. As an entrepreneur, when I am connecting with people, if they be a client, I explicitly say you will get a response within 2 to 3 business days. Why am I doing that? Does it really take 2 to 3 business days to respond? Not all the time, but it might. And I am going to always lean on the side to give myself grace to have that amount of time to respond in case it does take some research, in case I am busy, then nobody has this false expectation of me. They are very clear on what to expect and when to expect it. A lot of times, people pleasing comes into effect because we haven't clearly related how they should interact with us. We haven't clearly put out what our policies and our procedures are. And so now we feel like, well, we got to do it as soon as the client or the customer asks for it. And that is just not the truth. But again, if you have unchecked people pleasing, that's what you will do. And you can do that for so long, and then you find yourself burned out. The business, the idea that you used to love, the thing that you're like, man, I enjoy this so much. This is it. You slowly begin to resent the very gift that was meant to bring you into prosperity because you allowed people pleasing to dominate the atmosphere for you. So how do we do this? How do we handle people pleasing? What's a way to prevent burnout when it comes to people pleasing? Well, I mentioned one of the things, have policies in place. Your website should say when your business hours are. You should not be conducting business through text messages. You need to set things in place so that you are legitimate, so that people take you seriously. A lot of times we're doing things because we're trying to get all the money, But people are not really taking that seriously because we all our transactions are cash app, and it's not like we at a vendor event and the person is standing there, right? And so we have to um part of the issue is a lot of us see our business as side hustles and not for what they really are. And when you function as a side hustle, you just do whatever you can to get that client and move on to the next client, or that customer and move on. But when you start seeing yourself as an established business, someone that has pride in what they're doing and are doing it to serve their clients and to bring prosperity into their own house, you will handle things differently. I remember when I'm still an educator, but there was a time where I was doing teaching and I was doing a coaching business called Girl It's Go Time. And I had the choice. I could run Girl It's Go Time like it was a side hustle, or I could run it like it was the real business that it was. I chose the latter. What did that mean? I was able to allow people to book times when I would coach. I let them book times when I would coach when I knew I was available. I wouldn't allow people to book times for me to coach them while I was still at the school teaching. Some of us are trying to do things that are absolutely ridiculous. There is no time management. You got things crossing over, and people like, you know what? I'm gonna find somebody else to do it. Some of you are losing clients, and you think, well, people pleasing is gonna keep them, but it's actually repelling them. The thing that you're doing that you think are attracting people might be the very thing that's actually repelling them. It might be the reason that the level of clientele has not risen. That anytime you think about raising your prices, it's pandemonium. Nobody wants that, right? And it is because they feel like, well, I've gotten this level of service this whole time. Why would I pay more for it? Or they might be thinking, hey, it's only worth what I've been paying for it because of the way you've been showing up. So I want to encourage you today to get some policies and procedures in place for your business. What makes sense for your life and lifestyle? When I was teaching and coaching, I would only schedule people when I was actually available to coach them. And maybe that meant I could only take 3 clients a day versus 8, but that's okay because at least those 3 clients were getting the best version of me. To the point, a lot of people didn't even realize that I had a full time teaching job because I was showing up in such professionalism when I was with them. They thought that's all I actually did. And that's how you want to be, especially if you're balancing or we're going to talk about balance later. But if you have a 9 to 5 and you have a business as well, there is a way for you to show up in excellence in both places. You don't have to pick and choose. So your business is doing great, but you are flunking at your job. That's not okay. That does not reflect well on you either. But there is a way to show up, but policies and procedures have to be in place to help eliminate people pleasing. Policies, procedures will help eliminate people pleasing. You got that, entrepreneur? I hope this was helpful to you. Make sure that you continue on this playlist that is designed specifically for you to prevent and or reverse burnout. Again, I'm Danielle Bertrand, the preventative burnout specialist, and burnout will not bury you, not on my watch. See you next time.